I've always really liked technology. I've loved computers my entire life, so I figured I should do a run with Porygon. This little polygonal Pokemon is honestly adorable. I've used a Porygon Z in Generation 4 before, but I've never used it in Generation 1. That's probably because it's walled off behind the ridiculous price at the game corner. Want yourself a cute little digital duck? Nope, you can't have it. It's actually the most expensive thing in the game. Porygon's stats overall are decent. 60 attack and 75 special is something I can really work with. After Jigglypuff's 20 speed, Porygon's 40 speed is probably gonna feel insanely fast. Beyond stats, Porygon has a limited learn set. Limited only in the fact that it doesn't learn very many moves. However, the moves it does learn will be very useful. Psybeam, Recover, Agility, and Tri-Attack will all likely be very useful during this run. I'm very excited to get access to Recover. I've never had a healing move that wasn't Rest. It's going to be so nice to have some consistent healing. Only having access to Tackle early on will make Brock fairly tricky, but my previous runs have always surprised me. The highest level I've ever had to beat Brock was 21. I think that Porygon will probably be able to do it around level 17 or 18. Finally, let's go through Porygon's TM and HM learn set. This is probably the widest move pool I've had access to in one of these challenges. Ice Beam is clearly the winning move here and will be very useful against both Giovanni and Lance. Quickly, let's review the rules. I will only use Porygon in battle. I'll have access to other Pokemon to progress through the game with HMs. However, I won't use any of them in battle. If an opponent's Pokemon faints due to self-destruct, and I win the battle due to having other Pokemon on my team, I'll reset and consider that battle a loss. I won't use any items in battle. Items between battle will be fair game. I'll have to use a Pokeball at some point to catch a flying Pokemon for Fly. I won't use any major glitches. No Pokédoll or Missing No. I may use the badge boost glitch though to boost my stats, should that be the best strategy for me to progress through the game. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's get into it. Brock is actually not as tough as I thought. I show up at level 11 and I can take the Geodude down at this level. Access to Conversion actually makes this fight easier. It buffs me up defensively and allows me to take significantly less damage each turn. Let's level a bit and see how I can do in a few levels. At level 14 I come back and I'm feeling hesitantly optimistic. My strategy for this fight is simple. Turn 1 Conversion to make Porygon a Rock type. Once that is set up, I'm only taking 1 HP of damage a turn from Geodude. Next I begin to set up my Sharpens in order to get my attack stat up. I want to be dealing more than 1 damage a turn when I attack. Once I start attacking the Geodude, I'm surprised by how much damage I'm actually able to inflict. Onix comes out and I'm still in green HP. Unfortunately, Onix outspeeds me, which means that Bide will get off before I land my tackle. This happens several times and I take a lot of damage. One final Bide comes down and I decide to just try to go for it. Luckily my second tackle takes the Onix down and I'm victorious. Level 14 was way before I thought I'd be able to do this. While Brock was easy, the next rival doesn't go so well. Spearow is a 2-hit from tackle, but then Sandshrew comes out. I make the mistake of going for Conversion against it. I guess my brain was still thinking Rock type. It's a ground type, it's not a Rock type. Wasting a turn against Sandshrew can be extremely dangerous since it knows Sand Attack. Sand Attack really starts to get out of hand here. I do manage to finally take the Sandshrew out, but the lowered accuracy is just too much. Rattata hits a big Hyper Fang and I go down. The second attempt at this fight I change my strategy. Since Spearow can't take me down immediately, I set up with Sharpens. After that, I can one-hit most of his Pokemon. Sandshrew does land a single Sand Attack, but this time, since I do so much damage with each hit, this isn't enough to stop me from running over his entire team. On to Misty. Staryu comes out and my strategy is simple. Set up so I can take the Starmie down ASAP when it comes out. I set up with 6 uses of Sharpen. I'm going all out here. Staryu actually does decent damage to me. My first hit with Tackle doesn't take it out because I get an unfortunate critical hit. Again, critical hits in this game ignore all stat changes, even the ones that would make you do more damage. Finally, Staryu goes down after the second hit and it's onto Starmie. I'm able to take it down over the next 2 turns. I'm really glad I went for this setup strategy. It did really well. I can't learn Body Slam, so I'm only going to grab Rest and the rare candy before taking the rival on the SS Anne. This rival fight is way easier. I choose to set up Sharpen right away at the start again. I spend 1 extra turn using it since I get hit by a growl. After that, it's an easy 1 hit on both Spearow and the Rattata. Since I've learned Psybeam, at this point I take Sandshrew down in a single hit as well. Serves that annoying sand attacking demon right. Eevee is a 2-hit, but it doesn't pose a serious threat to me. Surge is next. I know I can get this done. Let's try and do it in the first battle. So I open with the same strategy. This time it doesn't go well. Raichu takes me down in 2 hits. I guess I've got to try this again. This time I go into things with a different strategy. I'm just gonna brute force him down. Since Surge really likes to use X speed and growl, I think I will actually be able to take the Raichu down before it takes me out. This time he hits me and it does significantly less than it did last time. Well, that's weird. This fight goes really well because of that. Time to move on to the mid game. I'm off to Rock Tunnel and beyond. I grab Ice Beam and Tri Attack. Outside of the department store, I almost taught Porygon Tri Attack. I decided not to because I've made the mistake of using a TM too early before. Think back to my Zubat run. Still frustrated about that one. This run, I'm not going to do that. Porygon learns Tri Attack naturally, so I'm just going to have it learn it that way first. I can always use the TM later if I need it. Erika is tough. It took me 3 attempts to take her down. The brute force strategy that I used against Surge really won't work here. The Tangela is just far too tanky. Since it isn't part poison type, Psybeam doesn't deal good damage to it either. So the strategy here is Sharpen into Tackle. Because Tangela can deal decent damage to Porygon with Mega Drain and Vine Whip, I have to use Recover in order to get through this fight with green health. After that, Weepinbell can be a bit of a problem. It can hit Sleep Powder, which basically ruins the entire fight. This run, I wake up right away, which makes this fight possible. It lands Paralysis next, and then I take it down with a single hit of Tackle. Gloom is a 2-hitter, and it packs a serious punch with Petal Dance. My lucky stars align, and it uses Acid 3 times in a row. Okay, Giovanni time. Giovanni is obviously easy. Psybeam makes quick work of both Onix and Rhyhorn because they have low special. Things get a bit tricky with Persian. It's a 2-hit. I think I could have lost this fight if I had very bad luck. At this point in the run, I'm actually trying to skip as many trainers as possible. I'm feeling really good about the way that Porygon is handling this run. Perhaps I can do this without leveling up too much? Maybe it will be my lowest level finish ever. The rival fight at Pokemon Tower is easy. I was watching TV while doing this fight and I didn't make a particularly good move selection. Sorry. Either way, I get through it without any worry at all. Next I am going to go to Silphco because I'm very underleveled for Koga's level 50 Venomoth. Still, I'm not trying to overlevel too much. However, the rival here at Silph is just too hard at this level. Sandslash is brutal just by itself. Tackle and Psybeam both don't do very much damage at all. I can set up, but that's perilous because Sandslash can land some heavy damage with Slash, as it normally critical hits with that move. If it doesn't with Slash, it can also poison you with Poison Sting or destroy your accuracy with Sand Attack. I hate Sand Attack! Okay, I'm gonna calm down. I got through to Cloyster several times, but the fight just isn't easy after you've taken a few Sand Attacks. I'll head down to Koga and try that fight. If I can't get past him, I'll rethink my moveset and then try again here. The first Venonat takes a lot of damage from Psybeam. This might be possible at level 41. It gets confused and hits itself, so I'm able to take it down without taking any damage. Good. I level up and I learn Tri Attack here. That could change a lot against the rival. The next Venonat goes similar to the first one. It misses its Toxic and goes down in 2 turns. The third Venonat follows suit and misses Sleep Powder. I'm so glad that didn't hit. That probably would have been really bad. Venomoth comes out and begins to troll me with Double Team. Double Team is almost as bad as Sand Attack. While I'm doing a decent amount of damage each turn, I start to miss a lot due to Venomoth's rising evasion. It poisons me, so this fight is going to be on a timer. I hope I can get some good luck and take it down. I get lucky landing a Psybeam with Ducky and take the Venomoth down. Hey, Lucky ducky, it rhymes. I can't believe I haven't used that before in this script. Back to the rival. Let's see if Tri-Attack can make this one easier. Sand Slash is a bit of a battle because I want to set up a bit. It's tanky and I'll need extra damage to take it down consistently. I get very lucky in this run and don't take any sand attacks. After several Tri-Attacks, I take down the Sand Slash and can move on to Cloyster, with my accuracy completely intact. Cloyster gives me a second chance to set up. With my slightly higher level, I'm outspeeding now, so Clamp isn't as scary as it was before. I get set up and I take it down. From here this fight gets way easier. Magneton goes down in a single hit from Tri-Attack. After that we've got Kadabra, and since it has such low defense, it's obviously going to be a single hit. Flareon comes out last and it goes down in a single hit as well. Whoa, that was way easier. Just one level and a new move, and that's all I needed to get through that fight. After that, Giovanni isn't too hard. I've got a type advantage with Psybeam. He does make me heal up due to taking a lot of damage due to my low speed, but it isn't enough to swing the fight in his favor. After Giovanni's taken care of, I'm going to attempt Sabrina. Her speed is going to be very hard to deal with, but maybe, just maybe, my Tri-Attack can get the job done. Now check this fight out. Abra immediately lowers our accuracy with Flash, and then I take it down with a single Tri-Attack. Up next is Kadabra, and it survives with red health. It goes for Kinesis, but misses. Amazing luck so far. Next is Alakazam, her ace. I open with Tri-Attack, and she uses an X-Defend. That's good. It just doesn't one-shot me with Psychic. I was really hoping that wouldn't happen. After that, I get insanely lucky and survive through several turns as she uses Reflect or Recover over and over. But then my luck changes and I start to run out of PP for Tri-Attack. To make things worse, she switches into damage dealing moves and I go down on her first use of Psychic. Okay, I'm gonna have to try this one a couple more times. Only 3 fights later, I get exactly what I need. Abra does land a Flash, but I take it out immediately the next turn. Kadabra gets an X-Defend, but that doesn't take it out of the 2-hit range, so it's still 2 hits to take it out. After that, it hits a Psy Wave, which does pathetic amounts of damage. Alakazam is last. I believe I can do it. Alakazam goes for Psy Wave first turn. This is literally the best possible thing that could have happened. It does very little damage and Alakazam doesn't get a defense boost. This allows me to take it down into orange health on my first hit. It takes a few more turns after that since Alakazam gets off a Reflect, but I do manage to take the victory. Off to take on Blaine next. Don't forget to grab the 2 rare candies when you're in Pokemon Mansion. After that, I'm going to get all the quizzes correct and see if I can take on Blaine without training up. Blaine really isn't going well though at this level. I wanted to try to set up on Ninetales, but that proves to be very challenging. Since it knows Tail Whip and Confuse Ray, it can set up some brutal combinations against us. While Tail Whip does trigger the badge boost glitch and raises our other stats, defense goes down significantly and makes me much more vulnerable to confusion. In most of my attempts, I ended up getting confused if I tried to set up. I finally made it to Rapidash, but I wasn't able to take it down. I'm gonna go level up a bit and come back when I'm around level 52. I really hope level 52 is enough for me to get past this fight. This time against Ninetales, I choose to only raise my stats a little bit. I wanted to knock it out and avoid confusion if possible. It takes 2 hits, which means both Rapidash and Arcanine will also be at least 2 hits. Rapidash comes out and it goes down to very low red health. Luckily, it goes for Stomp, which I tank very well. Arcanine is next. I do good damage and it hits back with Takedown. Luckily, since I've outsped it, I've got the victory and I can take it out on my second attack. Giovanni is next and I know that I can get past this one. I've got Psybeam on my side. Dugtrio is very fast and I can't take it down in one hit. This fight, Dig is the worst move it can go for. Since I'm slower on the first turn of Dig, I miss and then I take a lot of damage the next turn. Persian gives me a chance to recover. It usually can't deal very much damage, but it does know Double Team. It starts to set up and I get very lucky and take it out soon after. I'm glad that didn't spiral out of control. Nidoqueen and Nidoking don't worry me too much. They both deal good damage with Double Kick. Still, they both go down in 2 hits. Rhydon is scary. Watch Earthquake whittle me down. Every turn I'm left on lower HP. I consistently use Recover, but this is a losing battle. Strangely, it switches into Horn Drill, which misses since I have the faster speed. That gives me the chance to heal up to full and start to get hits off. From there, it isn't scary anymore. After a total of 4 Psy Beams, it goes down and I've conquered the gym challenge. The final rival fight before the league is of medium difficulty. I set up against Sand Slash. After I get off 3 Sharpens, I take it down with 2 hits of Tri-Attack. Execute is an easy one. After that, Cloyster starts to get annoying. Supersonic is seriously a buzzkill, and Cloyster doesn't go down in 2 hits. Magneton, however, gives me a chance to recover, and then goes down in a single Tri-Attack. After that, I'm home free as Kadabra and Flareon go down in a single hit each. Before Lorelei, it's always important to rethink your moveset a bit. I tend to do a poor job of this, and end up in trouble against Agatha. This time, I'm going to think through this. Thunderbolt for Lorelei, Psychic for Bruno and Agatha, and then finally Ice Beam for both Lance and the champion. I'm going to try to continue my streak of beating this game at a lowish level, so I'll only use rare candies if I get stuck at a specific Elite Four member. As you can see, Lorelei really isn't a problem at all. The only 2 Pokemon that get a bit scary are Jinx and Lapras. Since I'm such a low level, I think they might do a lot of damage. Even with taking hits, I only go into orange health before I manage to take the victory. Next is Bruno. My first attempt versus him is pretty funny. I seriously steamroll through Onix and Hitmonchan. Hitmonlee starts to set up Double Team, and it actually does a lot of damage with High Jump Kick. However, in the end, I take it down with some good luck. Onix gives me a chance to heal up, and then take it out in an easy 1-hit. Here's where it gets funny. Machamp almost always goes for Leer or gets an X-Defend turn 1. Nope, not this time. Submission comes out and 1-hits me. Great. The next fight goes much better. Machamp gets the normal, useless turn 1, and then after that I take it down in 2 turns. On to Agatha. Agatha is weak to Psychic. Her Pokemon have good special stats, so I can't take any of the ghosts down in a single hit. It's pretty scary against each one of them because of the Hypnosis Dream Eater combination. In addition, because I'm a normal type, they can't hit me with Lick. Because of this, there's no way for them to paralyze me. Paralysis is generally really good in this fight because it prevents you from being put to sleep. Dream Eater wrecks me really quickly because my level is so low. Luckily, I'm able to get through the fight after several attempts, and Lance is next. I need to teach Porygon Ice Beam now. I'm also going to use a single rare candy so that I won't level up during the fight. I want to set up against Gyarados because it can either use Leer or Dragon Rage, which doesn't deal too much damage. In retrospect, I should have replaced Tri-Attack with Thunderbolt and kept it for the Gyarados, but that doesn't really matter. After getting set up completely, I can 1-hit the Gyarados and move on to the Dragons. Obviously, you guessed it, they're really easy with Ice Beam on my side. Aerodactyl goes down in a single hit as well. Dragonite obviously at the end of this fight is an easy 1-hit because I have a 4 times effective move in Ice Beam. The champion is last, and I know I can do it. Sandslash is always a good time to set up. It does manage to poison me after several hits. Also, its slashes are doing serious damage. That's probably because I'm a low level. After I get past it, Alakazam comes out. Funny enough, this Alakazam has not actually been a problem for me ever. I always thought that it would be really scary, but it just never has been. Executor is weak to Ice Beam. I do take this chance to heal up as much as possible before moving on though. Magneton is a 1-hit with Tri-Attack. Okay, I'm so close, I can do this. Cloyster comes out, and it's going to be very tricky. It lives through my first hit and retaliates with Aurora Beam. It gets really trolly after that. It lives through my next attack at very low red health, and then gets healed with a Hyper Potion. In a stroke of good luck, its last Spike Cannon only hits twice, and I can finally take it down. Finally, Flareon comes out, and I've become Pokemon Champion. So next I was thinking of doing a Mr. Mime run without special attacks. But actually, I think that that's impossible, because Mr. Mime only learns Double Slap at level 31, and before that it knows Confusion. I'll actually run out of potions and level up too high that I can't deplete my PP anymore before Baroque. So either I do that challenge using Double Slap once I get it, or I think of something else. I've also had the suggestion of doing Geodude, so perhaps Geodude will be my next one up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.